One of the things that we're dealing with is that a lot of church people on my blog and other people's blogs, they're saying that they do not want to count verbal emotional abuse as being bad enough to allow a woman to leave. They're saying that calling that abuse is dumbing down abuse, making it not very bad in the first place, and they're also saying that it's looking for any and every excuse to divorce. I differ with them. We would deal with abuse, verbal, emotional abuse, at the very beginning before it goes anywhere. There's a good chance that we could get that husband to know that what he's doing is sin, deal with it as sin, help him learn how to love his wife, and stop it before it ever becomes physical violence. What happens when that is assigned as a role, which you said you hate, to husbands? What happens when husbands are told that they are to do this? And by the way, these complementarians, they do write their books telling husbands to be this way, telling husbands to control the checkbook, telling husbands to keep their wives under control. John Piper, in his little YouTube blurb, said that when a husband is that way, it's just verbal unkindness. That is minimizing. He minimized it and said a wife's to endure it for a season. It's just verbal unkindness. I want to give you an idea what verbal unkindness is like. You all like to smell skunks? Favorite odor, right? Well, I bought these skunks to give people an idea, something I wanted you to have an idea in your mind, something that kind of connects it, what verbal violence is like. Now, skunks really stink. If you really get sprayed by one, it can make you sick on your stomach, I believe. It can make you really ill. Anybody been sprayed by a skunk ever? Yeah, it's quite bad. Well, I thought this pair of skunks really gives the idea across, because this is a huge skunk. You know, this is that intimidating skunk. And this is, you can call it either wife or child. It doesn't matter. This is kind of the same diff. When the huge skunk attacks the baby skunk, it's kind of like, you know, you can say either, you know, barking at them and making a horrible fit, or they can go like this, you know, and they, you know, go, psst, and they have just smelled up the place. And our churches are saying, you have to stay with it and live with this stench. Nobody else wants to be around a skunk. Nobody wants to be around a skunk. They'll avoid them. You act skunkish to me, I'm out of here. But our church is saying, no, wives, you got to stay there. You got to smell skunk for the rest of your life. Another thing we can do to be compassionate to those who are abused is to stand up for them. Standing up for them may be when you hear somebody in public saying something not quite so kind or blaming the woman or whatever. Stand up for her. Say, wait a minute, you don't know the whole story. Or especially sometimes men get together and they denigrate women, they talk nasty about them. Or one man will talk to another man saying, yeah, the wife, she, you know, blah, 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 whatever he's complaining about. If the man who's with him says, yeah, but doesn't she do this? Why are you griping? I mean, you have a really good wife there. And besides, didn't you do that? Doesn't she have really good cause? You know, that kind of thing can help men be accountable for how they treat their wives. We especially need it from men, especially, because it's the men we're talking about don't have much respect for women. If I say it to a man, it might embarrass him, but that's about it. But if another man says it, he needs to step up to the plate a little more than he does if a woman says it. That is the fact of the way things are at present. It's not right. It's just a fact.